share a bit about the struggles that you faced, or
The struggle was there. The struggle was at every step.
foreigners you might have interacted and had? Have you ever had meetings and all those things? Any incident that you can tell?
A few months ago, I got a chance to go to Singapore. There, I interacted to a lot of foreigners.
Learn this language on your own, or did you take the help of tutors?
I didn't take any kind of extra step
Any role model in your life?
that I inherited from my father.
Okay, can you guide a student who have just passed their 12th standard?
I would say they have nothing special to do after 12. After 12, they can just go for their BSc.
Okay.
Or if they want to,
Hello everyone, welcome back to Soulful English Journey. And today we have a very special guest here with us on our channel, and I'm delighted to have you here on my channel, sir. And how has your day been so far, and how's life going on?
I'm doing good, and the life is going on in a great way. Thank you very much for inviting me on your channel. And today, because it's Sunday, it's the only day when we can slow a bit down and gear up for the entire week. How was your
Yes,
day?
my day has been going fantastic. I had some sessions in the morning, so these
Okay.
sessions makes my day productive, I would say. And yeah, as it's Sunday, so we do have some how house chores, room chores. So I'm done with all of them. And due to rainy season, I would say we can't even do a lot of laundry these days because it is quite hard to dry our clothes. So before we dive into the conversation, would you mind introducing yourself? Our audience would love to know about you.
Yes, my name is Ishwar Thakur, and I belong to Janjahli, which is a place in Himachal Pradesh. And at present, I'm doing PhD in Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, and also working as an assistant professor in the same university. And my area of research, that is computational drug design. And if I talk about my childhood, I was born into a very remote place of Janjali, a village near to Janjali, which is called Suragi. And like most of the kids of my own age, I got my education from government schools. And till 12th class, I studied in Janjali from HP Board of School Education. And later, for my further education, I moved to Chandigarh. Initially, in Chandigarh, I struggled to get into medical colleges. I was preparing actually for PMT, which is called NEET nowadays. Anyhow, I managed to get into BSc and MSc in biotechnology. Along with that, I worked in different DPOs and KPOs that time, which actually helped me to improve my communication skills because being born and brought up in a remote place and then having my education done from government schools, it was not possible for me to get that environment during my school days where I could speak in English with anyone. And then after, uh, somehow I managed to get into a university and now doing PhD from Thapar University in Patiala and working as a research scholar and at the same time teaching to the undergraduates and master students regarding chemistry and biochemistry. It's a part of my daily routine nowadays.
That's amazing. That's fantastic introduction, I would say, sir. And coming from those, for those who don't know, where is this Jinjali Valley? It's in Mandi district, which is one of the districts of Himachal Pradesh, known for its temples and tourism. So so that's amazing. And from coming from a humble background and coming from a government school to being an researcher and teaching in Thapa University. So, how was that experience, sir? I would love to know. Was it? I know for sure it was not a cakewalk. It was a lot. It you might have gone through ups and downs and struggles. So, can you share a bit about the struggles that you faced, or you didn't face any struggle? Can you just elaborate a
Yeah, yeah.
bit?
The struggle. the struggle was there. The struggle was at every step. Though the entire things happened step by step, and it's been a long time. I'm 34 now. I was 17 when I moved from Janjani to Chandigarh. I mean, I have spent nearly half of my life away from my home. So the struggle was there. Initially, because I struggled to get some, BPO jobs in Chandigarh. Particularly, I was interested to work in international BPOs where I could communicate to the foreigners. It was the source of my bread and butter, and also the source for paying my financial expenses and all. That time, getting into domestic BPO was quite easy for me. But when I was trying for international, my mother tongue influence, which is very common for a kid who is coming from the rural area. So for that, I struggled a lot. Even I joined an English speaking institute for a few months there in Chandigarh. They used to tell me that there is no problem in the fluency, grammar, and all, but the mother tongue influence was there that actually was reduced with the time. When I started working in the BPOs and talking to the native speakers, then it helped me to reduce my mother tongue influence a bit. So that was a struggle in terms of doing a job along with my studies. But yes, the biggest struggle I would say was to maintain, to keep my path of scientific research alive while doing in the BPO, because both of the things are quite different. A person who is working in a BPOs, interacting with the foreigners, working for 8 hours in the night shift in the BPOs, and during the daytime working in the labs and doing the course like biotechnology, that I think was a bigger challenge for me.
My goodness, it two different fields you were juggling with, right? So it
Yeah,
did that. I think it shows your mindset, that your mindset was very, I mean, quite clear, that dedication towards your goal that you had, right? Because your mindset uh, might get diverted because of working in BPOs. That could have happened, right? But still, you kept going.
yeah,
And as being a researcher, and being a professor in university, um, have you ever interacted with the foreigners? You might have interacted and have you ever had meetings and all those things? Any incident that you can tell, any incident that you had with the foreigners when it comes to
yeah, yeah.
uh, uh,
Uh,
speaking English? Any incident?
I mean, in terms of my academic area, in context of my academic area, I have not interacted to foreign researchers that much, because I have interacted to foreigners when I was working in BPOs. That time I interacted a lot because my job was to work for international clients. But yes, during my research, a few months ago, I got a chance to go to Singapore. There, I interacted to a lot of foreigners, the researchers who are working in my field. So most of them were, I mean, they were from the universities nearby. I was in National University of Singapore, and the researchers, a few of them were my collaborator. We are working in a collaborative project along with the National University of Singapore. So, I mean, interacting with the people from Southeast Asia is quite different from interacting with the people from Europe or from America. Because even though I know that people in Singapore, they are a kind of, I would say, native speakers, because most of them speak English on their daily life, but still their accents sound to be very much Chinese. I mean, it's quite difficult to understand their accent. They speak in a Chinese accent. Another thing, when I was in Shulini University, there was a student from China, and he was there for a semester exchange program from Sichuan University. And he has been a good friend for mine for 6 months during the time he was in Shulini. And his accent again was pathetic. He used to say, when we will say three, he used to say three. And it was difficult to understand their accent. And I would say our Indian accent, although it's a neutral accent, I think it's better. Even the European or the American people do understand our accent, but the accent from Eastern countries like China, Japan, or the Southeastern Asia Pacific countries, that is very different.
Yes, I can relate to this because I have talked to some of the foreigners on a certain app. So they used to get me clearly whatever feedback I got from them. They always told that I you are quite understandable. But for me, it was quite difficult. It was quite challenging to understand. Some of people from China and I don't remember even from where they were, but sometime it was quite difficult. But when it comes to my accent, they all used to understand me. And even, not even a single person said this thing that I'm not able to understand you. I think in that case, Indian accent is neutral, right? All people are able to understand us.
Yeah, exactly. That's a unique thing about Indian accent. If we do not try to copy any other accent, we keep our accent neutral. I think that's perfect. Our accent is quite understandable in the entire world.
Yes, true thing. Okay, so you believe in this thing that should we go for the accents or should we because a lot of people love learning accents. So did you has this thought ever came in your mind that I also wanted to learn an accent like
Yeah,
American or British accent?
exactly. I would tell you a thing when I was working the BPOs, most of the people who were from Chandigarh or Tri-City area, the people were very smart and they used to speak in accent. And by that time, even I was thinking about learning the accent and speaking in the same accent as the foreigners are speaking. But later on, I understood one thing that if I want to speak in the accent, so for that I would have to interact more with the local people. I mean, one thing I have observed that there is a difference between a telephonic conversation and the daily day-to-day conversation. The accent we can learn when we are doing day-to-day conversation, I mean face-to-face conversation. But the telephonic conversation, I don't think it was quite that much helpful to understand to learn the accent. So that thing I realized for after a few months, and then I decided not to learn the accent, and rather I focused on just on improving my accent and making it neutral.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Now I would love to know a little bit about, as you mentioned, shared your journey about how you learned English in BPOs. I would love to delve into the techniques because I think you started learning this language way back, right? In maybe in 2012 and 13, right? It was a long back, so that time we didn't have that much resources. And I would love to know one more thing that did you learn this language on your own or did you take the help of tutors? And I would love to know more about all those things, what techniques you used and what helped you the most?
I would say I started learning even before 2012. I came to Chandigarh in 2009, in fact, but I started way back. Back in my school time, I used to speak with my teachers and some of my friends who would cooperate with me a little bit to speak and to listen. And later on in BPOs, that was our usual work. I mean, to handle the calls. Uh, I mean, separately, I didn't take any step which was different, like apart from taking a 2 month English speaking course before getting into international videos. I didn't take any kind of extra step. The only thing was I tried to get in touch with the people who can speak with me. I mean, back in the school time, but later on when I was in BPOs, when the environment was English speaking environment when we were working, so the main point, the key point over there was the environment because we were supposed to work in the English speaking environment. So that time I was not, I didn't feel any kind of necessity to have to do any extra efforts to learn the language particularly.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so you started from your school days, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but as for as far as I know, that in government school, nobody speaks in English. Nobody bothered to speak in English. Where did it all came? You started talking in English way when you were in your childhood. I believe that at that time, nobody even still even in today's time as well in a village and a student of government school. I'm not blaming or saying in a very rude manner, but this is the thing that I have also studied from a government school. Nobody even bothered to study, so learning a language is a something like a dream for someone, right? So how did it came, how did this idea came into your mind, and were you very clear about your goal since your childhood, and there any role model in your life from where you got the idea?
The idea of learning this language that I inherited from my father. Although he's not in the world this time, back in 2003 he passed away. But I started learning academically. I started learning the English language from fourth standard. But my father used to teach me at home. Even before my fourth standard, I was able to read and write English, and then to speak English. I was able to do it. I mean, even in my primary schools, and later on, because my teachers were helpful, I used to speak with my teachers. And in my later classes, I make my friends involved to get in conversations with me. But yes, the thing was like there were no resources like internet that time. No resources like nowadays. We have a lot of applications where we can connect to any random person and we can practice. That was that kind of facilities was not available that time. And about my goal, though I was very much consistent about my goal to get into research and development right from my childhood. I still remember I was in seventh or eighth standard that time when I decided my goal, to pursue my career in research. But by the time I didn't know what exactly I was going to do, so there have been a lot of ups and downs. I mean, when I completed my high schooling, I wanted to become a doctor. Then I could not get into a medical college. Then I started doing a Bachelor of Science and doing my career in biotechnology. And later on, for my PhD now, I'm doing PhD in biochemistry. And now my career path is consistent because my research area now is beside. I am working in the field of drug discovery. So, in a nutshell, I would say the path I have chosen for my career that was actually decided back in my school days. But how it is going to be by that time, being a government school student in a remote village, it was not possible for me even to think how the things will happen. Later on, the things got easy when I came to Chandigarh. Then I come to know that what all the things I have to do if I want to get into research and development or in the academic job.
Okay, that's quite surprising that you were clear about your vision, your goal in your seventh standard. That what you want to do in your life. I mean, it and I can't even think of it because I know in our schools we never bother to even think of what we want to do in our life when we grow up, but you were very clear about your vision back then, right? And that's quite interesting. I must say that a lot of people will get inspired by you, though I don't have much idea about your field, because you are doing research in chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you guide a student who have just passed their 12th standard, if they wanted to get into your field, what guidance you would give to those students? or who are
If
just uh okay, yeah, first go ahead.
okay, so for the students who want to pursue their career in scientific research, I would say they have nothing special to do after 12. After 12, they can just go for their BSc, or if they want to pursue it from the best of the institutes in the country, they can get into ICERS, that is Indian Institute of Science Education and Research. There are four or five ICERS in India. They run a program of BS, that is Bachelor of Science. They have a 4 years program in Bachelor of Science. In that degree program, they can do research even in their undergraduate studies. So after doing their undergraduate studies, there are a lot of scholarships available
Mhm.
in India and in abroad as well. But if they cannot get into IITs or into ICERs, then they can simply go for the government colleges. They can pursue their BSc. Then for MSc, even the Indian government run a lot of scholarship programs like for biotechnology. There is a scholarship program available in different universities, even to do MSc as well. And for later on, for doing PhD, once again, if you want to do research nowadays, even in India, the fellowship programs are there. I mean, the government, although is not spending that much in India, but still, if you are having even a master's degree, and if you have done the master's degree from a good institution, even at master's level, you have done some research, you can apply for a PhD abroad, and that is the initial step. So we were talking about career in science and technology. I would say one can go simply go for a bachelor's degree, and later on they will come to know about the rest of the things. I mean, once taking the initial step is to get a bachelor's degree, and the final step, I mean, for research field, it would be the initial step once again to get a PhD degree. But till the time you get your bachelor degree, you will not be able to understand what the things are going to be like in the further future. So, firstly, go and get your graduate degree. They will come to know about a lot of schemes.
Okay, that's amazing. I must say a lot of people will get guidance from whatever information you shared right now. Okay, so if because I think in our areas, students have very limited career options in front of them. If you have any other idea that what are the career path a science student can get into, because as far as I know that we only know that either you can be a doctor or you can pursue PhD when if you are, or you can be a teacher. These three options are there for science students. But if you have more knowledge, what other things a science student can do, please do share.
Yeah, a science student, if they are having just a bachelor's degree, they are having enough scores ahead. For the first, I think for people who are from Himachal Pradesh, they can get into pharmaceutical industry. Even after a BSc degree, they can go to a pharma company and pursue their career there. That's a good option, and that is the easiest available option in Himachal Pradesh. Apart from that, if they can come to the city like Chandigarh, there are certain back-end jobs available for the science graduate. For instance, there is a field called patent research analyst. For that, there are a few companies in Chandigarh who are looking for the science graduates who can work as a patent analyst over there. Patent analyst is another option where you will have to work for some pharmaceutical or some biotech or some engineering companies who would hire their patent analysts or the patent lawyers. And apart from that, pharmacovigilance is another option. Pharmacovigilance once again is related to pharmaceutical industry. This job is available in Chandigarh. I mean, these are the computational or I would say back-end jobs of science background people, which can be easily grabbed in Chandigarh. And apart from that, even this medical transcription or medical billing, that is another option in Chandigarh. I mean, this industry is widely spread in Chandigarh, though it's not strictly related to science. But this is something like in the United States, the patient and the doctor would be, they would be doing a conversation, and then the people will listen their conversation there in the offices in Chandigarh, and will convert it into a prescription, and will handle their medical documents and all. I mean, the scopes are there, but the thing I would say, they will have to come out of the hometown, because in the villages, I don't think for the science graduates, apart from teaching tuitions and all, there is any other option. Uh, the option is in the industrial area, or in the cities, in the metro cities, or somewhere in the cities like Chandigarh only.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. And because I've seen a lot of people who don't have much clarity about their future, especially science students, that what they are going to do after their 12th. Either they prepare for NEET, or they know that they have to get into teaching field if they have science. If they have taken science as their subject, or some of them, most of them who are from village area, they switch to humanities later on when they get into college, that I have seen mostly around me. So yes, sir. Now I think it's time to wrap up the conversation. But before that, if you want have some questions, then we can discuss them as well.
Okay, one question I wanted to ask about your journey. I mean, you are doing online podcasts and all. What is the reaction from your friends and family and anyone who is known to you? I mean, what they are saying about all this? Even, I have been really, I've been watching your podcast, and I'm quite happy that even and someone from my known area is doing such kind of things. And even I'm doing this conversation in the podcast for first time. I mean, what is the reaction of other people to whom you are talking after doing all this podcast and all?
First of all, thank you so much that you have been following my podcast, and that means a world to me. And about others' reaction, uh, so far, I think most of the people don't know about the podcasting, mostly in our areas, right? People don't know about what is this, and I haven't even shared this thing with other people, so I don't know about their reaction. But yes, I shared with some of my relatives, and they were quite happy and excited. And some of and about my parents, they are very happy, and my father is very supportive in that case. So he has been my biggest support system, I would say. And he, every time I create a video, he always asks me, have you create have you know haven't you said send me the video that you made? And like that, I feel happy. And the other thing is that yeah, I mean, children of my villages, they have been, though I haven't done anything like a big thing in my life, but still small children are getting inspired by me, mostly of my villages. And they have been contacting my parents, and they are asking that tell send us her channel. And they wanted to learn from me, though I am not doing any sort of classes. I'm not providing to people. I'm just sharing whatever I'm learning. I'm sharing on my YouTube channel as for now. But I think it is something which I love doing. I love interacting with people. It has been my dream. I mean, but because of a lack of awareness, I don't didn't know how to do it. I mean, how should I do it? Because no one has ever done these kind of things, at least in my area. And it is a new thing, so it's also new thing for me as well. But I'm enjoying, and it's a privilege to have privilege to connect with people from different part of India, and interact with them, and to know about their experience and learn from there. And I would say it's such a blessing that I feel. Yes. And that's what I feel happy. And yeah.
Okay, hope this channel will grow more and more in future. And it was nice talking to you. And I would say to your audience as well, keep on learning English, keep building your confidence more and more. and interact more with the people so that you can learn more about the language and make yourself confident enough at least to face some sort of interview or at least to interact the people surrounding you when you are in a platform where at least this sort of conversation is important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, and pleasure is all mine. And thank you so much again for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that being a researcher and being a professor at the same time, it is quite hard to balance your time, but still you did, and that's amazing. And I must say that a lot of people will get inspired from you and from your knowledge whatever you shared. And thank you so much, sir, again for being here on my channel, and I would love to have more conversations in the future whenever you'll get time. And once again, thank you so much, sir. Have a great day ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day.